All right, welcome back to Tico Time, everyone. Today we are interviewing the infamous Uncle Sam. To start, we're gonna jump off right with some questions from our audience. Number one is from Claire, and she wants to know, where did the name Uncle Sam start, and do you even like it?
Yeah, that's actually a really funny story. So it came up the first time in the second semester, and with new students. So with Kira actually. So and I don't know. I'm not sure when it happened, but it was pretty early in the semester, and she just started to call me Uncle Sam. I was like, what the heck? Why is she calling me Uncle Sam? And so first I was like, just she told me called me like this, and I was like feeling a little bit weird about it. And then other people started to say that, and then um yeah, and then it was just a thing. The people, I was Uncle Sam, and I was like, okay, I think that's my nickname for this semester, and then I actually liked it, and yeah, that's the story behind there actually.
Okay,
I'm
sweet.
confused. Was unk a thing back then? When you call someone an unk, you're referring to them as like older. Was that a thing at that
Uh,
point?
Probably what I don't know. I mean, I asked Kira, and I think I don't know. She just started that, and I don't really. I don't. I'm not sure if she told me the exact reason, but I think she just thought I'm an Uncle Sam. So I thought in the US there is this Uncle Sam.
Yeah,
This
yeah, there is.
yeah, it's like I don't know who he was,
Yeah,
but
it's kind of like they used like Uncle Sam kind of represented like the military recruiting back in the
uh,
war times. So they'd be
Okay.
like, Uncle Sam needs you to like sign up for something. It's kind of what they
okay,
use that for. But
I don't know.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
funny. I think another thing, I don't know if you mentioned, but there were four Sams. There were four of us
yeah,
in your second semester, which is kind of crazy. I remember getting there and looking at the list, and there's only, is it 35 students, right? And so when I saw that there were four Sams, I was like, there's got to be no way. And you got Uncle Sam, and one person, he took Sammy, and that was pretty smart because he never really got confused with anyone. But me and you and the other Sam, I feel like every time someone would say Sam, and we'd all just like look, we like, who's calling us?
yeah.
That
I think
was
It was kind of struggle.
yeah. I feel like because we called you Maxon, right?
yeah,
We had Uncle Sam, Sammy, Maxon, and then we called Sam Shed from
yeah,
uh from John, but I feel like he did not like that nickname that much. Like I remember
yeah,
after it was like
Shed.
for the second semester, it was like, should we call him that? And he was like, no, don't call me Shed. I don't like it. I was like, okay, fair.
And
It's
we
funny.
also, I think what got confusing is we had Shed, but there was also a guy named Jed. And
That's
I
true.
remember sometimes people would say Shed, and then he'd just get confused with Jed, and then it was almost not even worth calling him that. We might as well call him Sam again.
That's
It
so
was,
funny. We have
yeah.
another question. It's from Daniel. He says, "Why did you work out in the trees at Port?"
I do remember
Well,
this because I'd always look out of my window and I'd see you with was it the elastic bands? And you'd be
yeah,
doing
yeah,
like the stretches with the tree.
yes. Well, why not? I mean, it was awesome. I actually, I was like thinking about to go to the gym, but I was also like, I started at one point to do this with these straps, or like, I don't know how you say that, the
Yeah.
TRX. It's called TRX. And I really enjoyed that actually. And I miss that because I had such a good routine. I don't know how I exactly did it, but I think I get up like at 5:30 or something. And then
Wow.
I was like directly standing up, going like getting water, put my sports clothes on, and then walking outside. Doesn't matter if it was raining a little bit or like whatever, and just doing my workout. And that helped me so much to just be ready for the day. And
Mm.
after my workout, I went to the shower, and then immediately I did my Bible reading, and I got a coffee, and it was just a really good time for me. And I enjoyed even when it was raining, because when you do the workout, you get like warm, and then it rains. So, but one struggle I had most of the time when it was raining, the grass, it was not growing anymore where I was standing. So always when I leaned into the TRX, I was like slipping away slowly. So yeah, that was like, not so good. But yeah, the rest, I mean, I really liked it. And yeah, it was probably a little bit weird for the other students to see me there.
It
But
wasn't
yeah,
super weird. We did have our questions, but
Well,
but
there
it
was
was
Cade
funny.
though, that Cade would use those like calisthenics stand things, then he would
Yeah,
do like
yeah.
handstands on. I feel like
That
that
was
was even
probably
weirder than Sam's
yeah.
TRX stuff, so
There
you know,
was there was always something interesting to see when you looked out onto the field, that's for sure.
yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
But that's a really cool routine though. Like now that I think about it, like definitely like get to get a good start to your day. And like you said, like even afterwards, like reading your Bible, like that's something that's I think valuable is having a good schedule, especially in the morning. I feel like a lot of the times for me and so many other people, you end up just sleeping until breakfast and like miss some of that usable time, right, of the day. And so
yeah.
that's cool. But our last question from the audience is from I'm not sure if they have a name or not, but it's asking, how did you like being our Uber driver on the trip traveling after the semester?
Well, loved it.
Yeah,
I really love to drive, and I really like to just also organize the trip, and with, of course, with the other people together. And yeah, I really like to drive on the Costa Rican streets. It is sometimes a little bit like an adventure
yeah,
when you
yeah,
drive
I bet.
on the streets from Costa Rica. Of course, it is a different traffic than in Austria, but yeah, I remember that we were like one time we drove from Tamarindo to, I don't know, I think back to Playa Hermosa or something. I'm not sure. It was on the Pacific coast, and we needed to drive through the jungle, and then we need to do like a water crossing, and we drove
What?
with this van through the water.
Really?
Yeah, and the people were like, "Oh no, don't do it!" Like I was like, "Yeah, that's fine, no problem." And
That's
yeah,
wait, Luke, Luke, were you on this trip?
No,
no,
that would
then
have been his first semester.
I think Daniel was with us.
No, I think
No.
was the
Oh,
second
really?
semester?
Yeah,
Was it second semester
Yeah,
or
yeah.
first semester?
It was
it was our
second semester.
first semester, his second
Yes, well,
semester.
yours. Yeah, right. Yours.
Oh, I don't remember that at all. Maybe I wasn't there.
Oh, that's
But I
that's
must
crazy.
say,
You had
like,
go ahead.
from all the people from my like our semester doing that trip after, Sam was like so clutch because he planned like the whole thing and drove for the whole trip and was like, oh, he's great. We really appreciated everything you did for that trip, or at least I did for sure. So yeah, no, that was great.
Yeah, that's crazy, but that's cool. And so I guess kind of jumping into like just some of our questions what we want to know about you a little bit. So for our audience, I guess could you tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from and what you do for work, and then maybe how you ended up at Port and Torches?
So I'm from Austria. I live in Austria it's called Vorarlberg. It's in the Alps of Austria. And yeah, I was born in Germany actually, and I have still a German citizenship. Yeah. And but I grew up in Austria and went to school there and did my apprenticeship there, where I'm like not in the company where I'm working now, but in another bigger company. Yeah, so I was just working as an IT technician, and then I was like, I don't know, like 4 years or something. Or actually, I tried to go to Bible school when COVID started,
Mm.
So I applied already for Bible school and I got accepted and everything, and then COVID started, and then it was for me, okay, I think it's not going to happen, and God is closing a door for me there. And I was like, okay, it's fine. And I was basically just waiting. And after COVID, yeah, was not really a problem anymore. Some people, like family, ask me, yeah, how is it about like going to Bible school? Do you still want to do this? And then I
Mm-hmm.
actually started to think about it again. And yeah, in the end, I decided to yeah to tell my company and tell them I want to go, and then they told me okay, they want to like support me, and so yeah, that was really nice. My boss helped me a lot with some organization, and yeah, in the end, I got like I don't know if you have a thing like this, but I got like for one semester educational support.
Cool.
So I got basically paid that I could be at Bible school. But for me, that was definitely like a miracle, because normally you get educational support for your job, for your profession, you know. And I'm an IT technician uh, who wants to go to a Bible school. And I told
Yeah.
them I'm an IT technician, and I know it will probably not work like this, but I tried anyways. And then they told me, no, it will work for one semester. And then yeah, so that was really 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 nice. And
Wow.
yeah,
That's amazing kind of like testimony to how that was able to happen.
yeah, God really opened me like a door, and it was yeah, it was really encouraging for me that I can see how God has his hands in also these kinds of things, you know. Yeah, because it was not so easy for me, because I needed to like yeah, basically stop working in my job for 1 year, you know. A lot of you people are like done with school, or like it's like a break from school, you know. And yeah, that was like a struggle, but I think it was definitely worth it, and I would do it again. And it should do everybody, I would say. Like it was really, yeah, a good
Yeah,
experience.
I actually want to touch on that, Sam, what you're saying, because I remember in the semester you had problems with your ear, right?
Hmm.
Like it needed
Yeah,
surgery, and there was multiple
yeah.
times where it was like, okay, I need to leave now, and then, or no, I'm not leaving. And like, how did you find God was like speaking to you through that, and how did you learn to like trust him in that?
Hmm. Yeah, for me, yeah, I don't know where to start. So, long story short, before I went to Costa Rica, I had problems with my ear. So it started to the hearing get bad, and I had like also a sound in my ear, you know. And I had some like how do you say like accidents with my ear. So the eardrum was sometimes not good, and it was a little bit broken, you know. But it was normally fine, and yeah. But then it started to get worse and worse, and then I started to go to the doctor, and the doctor was like, yeah, we need to check every half year, whatever. And then I was always like for 2 years or something at the doctor, but he never told me that it could be something worse, that I need a surgery or whatever. And then I asked him, okay, I'm planning to go for 1 year to Costa Rica. Um, do you think I can go with this or no, or what should I do? And he told me, yeah, it should be no problem. And so yeah, and then I was like, okay, perfect. So then I was going to Bible school first semester, but we went to the sea, and I was going swimming and stuff. And then after that, I got my first like ear infection in Costa Rica, and then I went to the doctor, and he told me already there he's not sure if this is like something. serious. And yeah, I was like, okay, I will try. And then I got after that two infections more. And at the third infection, I was again in the hospital. And then he told me, yeah, it's like that was already in the second semester. And then he told me, yeah, you need to go. He told me like you need to leave and you need to have a surgery in the next weeks. So that sounded for me really urgent. And then yeah, I was like, obviously I was like sitting in the hospital. I was like, why? I mean, what the heck is going on now? But I remember I was really sad, but I was praying and saying to God, you know, if you want me in Austria in a hospital with a surgery, I will be there, and you can use me as a tool. And obviously, that didn't put my like sadness away, but I know that God has a plan and that He will do and do that with me. And then I went back to Bible school and told some people how the situation is. And then I also was trying to like get in touch with doctors in Austria. It was really hard because normally they don't say anything before they saw you, you know? So you need to go there and say, hey, I have this and this. And then they can tell you, okay, let's do it like this or this. And we had, how was that? We had a worship night. And I think, I was sitting next to Janet, the wife of Marco, and then she was asking me how I'm doing and stuff like this, and I was just telling her, yeah, good and stuff, but I have a little bit problems with my ear. And then they asked me more about the story and stuff like this, and then they just told me, no problem, don't worry, we will check what we can do, and like and then so then I was like also in contact with Marco a little bit. And I told him, yeah, I will wait until the doctor from Austria will tell me what to do. And he was also like calming me a little bit with saying like, if you feel good, you can decide by yourself if you want to stay or not. And then I got actually a message from a doctor in Austria. And he told me if I don't have this and this symptoms and I don't have pain and the hearing comes back, it will be fine. I can stay in Costa Rica for more for the last semester. Yeah, I was like, for me, it was like amazing because first it was so urgent and the doctor in the hospital from Costa Rica said I need to leave like in a couple of weeks. And then I could really trust in the Lord and say, it's not in my hands. He really gave me doctors in Austria. They could give me like from remote, like help me, to help me. And so that was really good. Yeah. And can you still hear me now?
Yeah.
Uh, I wrote down something when I had the diagnosis in Costa Rica. I need to check if I find that. Oh yeah, wait.
Were you journaling throughout that semester?
Well, especially for this because I think this was it was a really moving time for me because obviously I almost needed to go back to Austria. It was I need to check really quick if I find the Bible verse.
Okay. But yeah, that's so cool to hear this story again, Sam. It's really meaningful.
It's my favorite part about this podcast. It's like hearing
Yeah.
people's stories.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why my Bible app is so slow at the moment.
No worries.
classic. Whenever you need something like
So,
a little bit faster, it never works.
okay, now I have it.
Sweet. Feel free to, you can start saying it now.
Okay. So basically, God spoke to me after this diagnosis in like 2 Corinthians 12:9 to 10. And I just want to read it really quick. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong." And this was like for me. So I got this message from the hospital, and there was still this thing. Okay, I need a surgery, definitely. And then I got this verse, and yeah, my weakness is also my strength through Christ, and that really moved me. And yeah, so and that's definitely how God spoke to me.
Yeah.
You- I'm
Yeah,
actually
and
right now I'm reading the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis, which probably a few of our listeners know that book. It's a little bit famous, but in it, Screw Tape, it's just he's writing letters to Wormwood, uh, and one of the things he says to him is like humans never grasp the power of prayer. And with that, like, because God is always, He wants to give us our daily bread. He wants to help us to get through these hardships and grow closer to Him through that. And he was saying, like, humans so often we ask for our daily bread in that we ask for um like help with all these worries that we have. Like we want like every little thing that we think about for what could happen in the future. We want like strength to get through that. But there's power in like looking at what's going on right now in your life and not thinking too much about the future. Don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today
yeah.
and ask God to help you in that daily bread. And then, there's so much power in that. And I feel like that's kind of an example of that, where it was like in the now, it's the situation that you're dealing with, and God is helping you through that. So yeah, that's my thought.
Mm. I think it's just really amazing how I think how God can speak to us in different ways. Like how he spoke to you through that verse, Sam, I think is so meaningful. And just how something that was written to a different audience for a different purpose can still have so much significance in your own life and your own reasons, right? And I think that's just so cool to see how that always plays out. And
Yeah.
so and so you didn't end up having to go back, and I remember how happy we were that you could stay for the rest of the semester. That was a highlight for us for sure.
Yeah.
And so taking it back a little bit, so were the ear problems diagnosed before your first semester as well?
No,
Or did that happen in between semesters?
happened in the second semester, in the first,
Oh, it
I
was
think,
right
two
in the,
weeks.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, wow. And so it wasn't a problem at all during your first semester?
Well, I had these like ear infections,
Yeah, okay.
but yeah, I mean, I got like medicine for it. Of course, my hearing went more worse, but it also came back again when the infection was healed. So yeah, and this
And
year,
so, yeah,
yeah,
tell us how has it been this year?
yeah, I had the surgery in when did I had it? I think end of September. Yeah, and it went really, really well. And yeah, I now I can hear even better than um, before the surgery. Even that there's still a bone missing inside.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I will get a prothesis next this year actually. And so that's actually yeah, really good. And I don't know if my hearing will get even better then.
Okay. We were just talking with Uncle Sam about his whole story with his ear and his ear infections, and then how that's been. And so we just kind of wrapped up with that. But maybe we can start talking more about like your first semester and entailing that. If one of you boys have any questions for that, and then we can.
But yeah, so you were like one of the oldest people at port. One of the things I noticed and a lot of people noticed was like you'd always start up conversations on the deck. Like you'd ask some deep theological question and then you'd really get it going. And then a lot of people would jump in on that. And I'm just wondering, like, taking that leadership, was that natural to you? Or was that something that you kind of grew into through your first semester?
Question. Um, I think I did it on a natural way because I was interested what other people think about different topics. At one point, it was interesting because I think the first time I did that, um, I was just sitting there with like 2 or 3 people, I'm not sure anymore, and we just started to talk, and I was just asking questions, and at one point, like almost everybody was on the deck, and was like we didn't even had like enough chairs, and like yeah, we everybody was just like talking and like asking questions, and it was so nice, and then I was like really like, okay, that's so nice. I think that's the purpose of the deck, like to have like community on the deck and like talk about yeah, like uh class or like experiences we had, or like yeah, also like deep theological questions, and yeah, I think we found answers and we had good company, and yeah, that was a really good time. So, but yeah, it was I don't know. I think I did not do it um like on purpose, like with the thought, okay, now I'm second semester, I'm like a leader, I need to do that now. It was by like more like really natural, like I was just thinking to do that, and I was like yeah, you could say the Holy Spirit just gave me a question and I was just letting it go, and like yeah, that's if that answers your question.
Really? Sam, you got next question?
Yeah, sure. Um, and so thinking back, do you feel like you were definitely a leader in our second semester? Do you feel like you had a bit of a similar role being a little bit older in your first semester as well, or do you feel like you were more just there to learn, or what was that experience like going in a bit of a different age range?
So like your question is like how it is compared to the first semester about being leader. Yeah, I mean, the first semester, obviously, yeah, you're the first semester student, and the second semester students like did a really good job, I would say, like to lead us first semester. And yeah, I mean, I think just it's naturally that you are like when you're older that people look up to you, and yeah, I mean, I think I was able to learn a lot of things about leadership in the first semester. And my motivation was also like in the second semester to learn more about it. And one part of that was, for example, what I reflected on in the first semester was like I didn't had a caminata with every guy student. And for me, it was important in the second semester to do this, like to have a caminata with every guy student. And yeah, I think sometimes it is like not so easy probably because there are always people where you're not getting along so well, or like you probably have a little bit problems or whatever, but this is like a perfect way to grow in this and like to step out the comfort zone and get to know the other person, because I think what I learned when I have like probably the first impression of a person, but when I was on a caminata with this person, I was like probably completely oh, okay, this is completely different than I expected. And so I can also like just say that this is really important to do, also because like when you are a leader, for example, in a church, you cannot say, well, now with this person, I don't want to do anything because obviously that's yeah, not the way how Christ would do it. And so I think that was also definitely a way how yeah Christ like shaped my character and also helped me to learn about more about leadership and have yeah empathy for other people and yeah being interested in love and not like only because I feel like I need to do it now. That was also not the case. I really wanted to get to know these people, you know. So um yeah.
I feel like I definitely saw that, at least in our semester. Like, I remember you seeking me out to go on a caminata and talk, and I think that's one of the coolest aspects about Port Torches is just the emphasis they do have on just maintaining like relationships and friendships and treating others with kindness. And I think they have, I always described it as like a social fishbowl that you're in.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to, because it is a small community, you need to maintain good relationships. And it teaches you that, right? It teaches you that when you do disagree with someone or when you do have an argument with someone, like you need to be able to maintain accountability to that, and you need to work it out with them rather than just kind of flee to a different social group of people, right? So
Yeah.
that was definitely an aspect I saw, and it's definitely an aspect I saw you living out, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest parts of leadership, I would say, being able to, get over your differences and work with people and love people. Yeah. Sam, a little bit of change of pace here, but do you have a favorite memory from either of your semesters? And it's just like, one of your favorites or something notable. Doesn't have to be like the all-time favorite. But yeah, if you want to share something like that, be cool.
Yeah. Uh, I think one of multiple um, situations I really liked was like sitting in class and understanding God and God's word and like having like moments where like, okay, that's amazing, you know. But yeah, I think there were a lot of situations like this and yeah. And another funny situation was actually in the second semester. I was like staying in the tower, and one point I don't know what happened, but Kira and Vizzy they just came and like started to rap, and they
What?
wrote a whole song. Wrote a whole song and they just started to rap. I was like, what is going on here? And I was like filming it and they were rapping. It was not bad, you know, it was like so funny. I was like so random. It just it just made my day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
Kira and
so
Elizabeth, Kira and Elizabeth were like they wrote a rap song.
yes. I
Wait,
don't know,
where were they performing it?
like next to the stairs, like
Oh,
there where
okay,
the
yeah.
trash is, you know, outside.
Yeah,
It was so
It's
funny.
hilarious.
That's
that's
crazy.
hilarious.
Speaking of speaking of the tower, you were Peter's roommate, and we've heard rumors that Peter fell off his bed one night. Can you tell us about that?
I genuinely don't know how I could have done this because you told me that I jumped off of my bed mid-sleep and like stood like in front of you with my sheets wrapped around me or something.
Yeah,
I need to hear this story again.
I mean, I'm not sure if it actually happened. It's so weird because you say you cannot remember that, and I'm like, it was for me so clear, like crazy. I was like, that cannot only be real. And you know, I don't know. I feel like when I dream something, afterwards, it's like mostly like the memory is really, yeah, cloudy and not really clear. But with this memory, it was so clear for me that you jumped out of your bed. But I don't know. Probably it just happened in my dreams, and I don't know what. uh, Because you know, I jumped out of the bed in the first semester.
Really?
Really?
You don't
Maybe it's
know the
contagious.
story.
Okay, we need to hear this one.
So yeah, so basically it was just a normal night at Portland Torches, and I was sleeping on the top bunk bed, and I was dreaming that we played like hide and seek in a building at Portland Torches, and in the dream I was like jumping in a like a dark room over like a not a fence, but like yes, I tried to jump over something, and then I did it in my dream. And in this moment, I landed on the floor, and yeah, and then my room buddy, he was like looking at me. I was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I went to the toilet, went to pee, and went back to bed and was sleeping.
What?
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
That's like when you have a
yeah.
nightmare
That's
that
so
you're
It
cool. You
was
falling
wake
so
from
up.
like, that's
Wow.
insane. Oh my
no,
gosh.
no, it was not a nightmare. In the dream, it was like a dream that where I was jumping over something, and in this moment, I was jumping over my bed or from my bed down.
How does like you just woke up and you were like flying off your bed?
Yes, I woke up when I landed
That's
on the floor,
hit. Yeah.
That's
obviously,
That's
because
crazy.
it hurt a little bit.
Gosh.
Yeah, I had
Never heard
I
that
had
before.
I had pain for like a week.
I have a question about just the community at Port and like how
Yeah.
did being at Bible school impact you in like being with so many different people from so many different backgrounds and with like different life stories and faith. Um, yeah.
So I really love to get to know people, and I think the best part was to have like get to know a lot of Christian people. I mean, some of them were like not like they were like Christian, but not like, oh yeah, I'm not sure about all this, and yeah. But anyways, it was really good for me to get to know these people, and I really love to have always somebody to talk to, or like to play ping pong or whatever, or talk about something. And that's, I think, definitely the thing I missed the most immediately
Hmm.
after the time in Costa Rica. And that was, I think, the hardest part. But yeah, I also really like to meet people from Canada, from different states in the US, and to see how they do their life, like the different habits. And like, of course, English was for me in the first semester a thing, because my English was not so good like it is now. And so, yeah, two languages like English and Spanish. But yeah, in general, it's amazing to have friends like all over the world, basically, and
Yeah.
yeah, and also, yeah, seeing the different backgrounds from churches, and yeah, so it was really nice, I think, really beneficial.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely cool. I think it's neat to, like you said, have friends that live in so many different places. Um, like I'm going on a missions trip to Romania on Tuesday for a few months, and afterwards I hope I'll get to see you. But it's definitely it's interesting because like I'll look on a map and I'll be like, wait, I know someone from there. But thinking back to how you said the community was one of the things you missed the most when you got back home. But what do you think your faith life has been since you've been home? Like I know for each of us going to Port and Torches, like we were able to grow a lot in our faith, able to grow a lot in different practices. How do you feel like it's been this past year? It's been over a year since you've been home. Do you feel like you've been able to kind of maintain some of the practices you made at Port, or how do you feel like that has been?
Yeah, for me, it was actually really interesting because before I went to Bible school, I already had a really
Yeah.
good, like biblical, or now not like spiritual, no, how do you say, like spiritual practices, kind of
Yeah.
like reading Bible and like praying and like, and I was in a really good routine. And also then I came to Bible school and they said, yeah, we do like the Bible reading plan. I was like, yeah, no problem. And while the Bible school was running, everything worked for me really good, and I could do this stuff. I added, like, for example, a tech plan. That was a good thing. But I also used that already before Bible school. But after Bible school, like, for example, Bible reading, I was like shocked because I was like, at one point, I was like reading some days no Bible and was like, why is my spiritual well-being so bad? And then I was realizing I'm like not with the Lord every day and every morning as I was it in my past years, you know. And I was like, what is happening? Why is that happening? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I struggled kind of, but I started slowly again, like reading the Bible every morning and praying. And yeah, I really see how important that is to just talk to the Lord and like to just continue reading the Bible, and that, yeah, we can read what God wants to say to us, you know. And yeah, and I also used like the tech plan. I continue to use that. For example, like yeah, I really rarely use Instagram, for example, social media apps. Um, and yeah, it really helped me a lot to reduce all these things.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've also tried to cut down on the social media and yeah, just deleting an app and like Instagram, I just use it on my laptop. That makes a huge difference because like I barely use Instagram now. So there's little things, those little habits you pick
Hmm.
up that make a big difference. Can you give us just like a in general life update of what you've been up to since you left port? What you've been up to, stuff?
Yeah, so I this last year I was starting again with a youth group in my church. So that was a really nice thing, and it works actually pretty good. We started to have like every 2 weeks youth group, and I'm doing like devotionals there, but with two other guys, and so we switch basically every 2 weeks. That's a nice time. The group is growing a little bit. It's still really small. We are like between 6 to 10 people or youth kids, and but yeah, it's nice, and we can do some good program with them. And yeah, what else? I yeah, I was also traveling a lot in Europe, and I was meeting people. I work still as IT technician, and um, yeah, what else? Or what else do you want to know?
No, that's great. That's awesome.
Oh, that's a great life update. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, Sam. Do you have any future plans? What do you see yourself doing in the next like year now that we're in 2026?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously continuing with the youth, but it is in God's hands, and yeah, we will see how it goes. But other plans are, yeah, probably traveling to Central America, um, and yeah, things like this.
Are you gonna go back to Costa Rica, go visit Port?
Yeah, I will. I hope I can do this, but it would. The purpose of the trip will be probably more to visit the family of my girlfriend because she comes from Honduras, and at the moment she lives in Switzerland and she works here at the school.
Cool.
That's
Do
awesome.
you have any? Do you have any like prayer requests, like for anything this upcoming year too that we can be praying for?
Yeah, I mean, for definitely for the situation at my company,
Yeah.
because as I told you, Sam, like last year was, yeah, not a good year for me overall. And yeah, I really hope that I I can catch up with my certifications. So Yeah, and obviously, like for my girlfriend and me, and like, yeah, that God will just continue to be in our like middle in our
Yeah.
relationship, and that we don't lose the focus on Him. And yeah, also for youth group, that it's going well, and that God can, yeah, just do His work through us leaders. And yeah, I think this is the most important thing at the moment. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, for sure. Did you tell me your dad had also been getting involved with church too?
Yeah, he tried to, or he's like an elder in my church,
Okay.
and he
Yeah.
tried to, how do you say that? Like, reduce for work and be, like, work at my church. So start at my work at my church like for 25 or 20% or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
part-time work. Yeah.
yeah, part-time work, yeah. But it actually didn't work out because they have an important project at the company, and so they cannot let him go. So yeah, still praying for this, that yeah, I will struggle in my church a little bit. But yeah, it's a lot of details, and but I think yeah, God can definitely turn things, and yeah, I pray and I hope that this is happening.
Yeah, we'll keep all
Well, we
those things in our prayers for sure, and all our listeners as
yeah.
well.
And yeah,
Thank you, guys.
thanks for coming on the podcast, Sam. It's really cool to hear just a bit more of your testimony and your story, especially with what happened with your ear and with just how you've been able to be yeah, just still growing after port. So
All right, sweet. So thanks so much for coming on. We'll call that a day for this episode. But thanks everyone for listening. And yeah, we'll see you around.